Bangs a porno star, pays hush money to make it disappear. See, the Fox pivot was some immigrant fear. On Celebrity Apprentice, he said the N-word. He said it, I guess everybody heard. You're voting for a pathological liar who's preaching to an ignorant choir. Casino bankruptcies and shady deals. A master of the art of the steal. It's orange face. Cool. Democracy. Now under the sun. It's orange face. Come with a count. Now democracy is under assault. Orange face. Come with a count. Now democracy is under assault. You're calling immigrants vermin, just like that past fascist German, using campaign funds to pay your lawyers, watching beauty contestants change like a creepy voyeur. Say he just grabs women by the so in line with the Christian right philosophy. Says a woman can't be a 10 without a big pair. I could go on, but you don't care. Makes fun of a reporter with special needs. His puppets applaud, and his ego they feed. Characters seem to matter when Clinton was in the White House. You just ignore the moral accuracy of this louse. Orange face, come over count. Now democracy is under assault. Orange face, come over count. Now democracy is under assault. It's orange face, come over count. Now democracy is under assault. Orange face, come over count. Now democracy is under assault. Hello and welcome to the Reggie Essington podcast live from London. Today on the show we're going to examine a political phenomenon occurring in America right now. The newly elected Donald Trump, who apparently seemingly has 77 million people, 77 million supporters. It's just an incredible thing. And we're going to examine this. We have a guest today who's going to explore that, one of his supporters. It's amazing he can say anything, virtually anything, and not lose support. In fact, his support grows even stronger. Things that would derail most politicians. It's just astounding. Let's first look at the Republican senators in Congress. He has them under his thumb. And people ask, why? Why don't they have a backbone? Well, they're afraid of losing Trump's support. His supporters, that 77 million that elect them, and they don't want to be voted out of office. That would be a horror for them. That would be just an absolute nightmare. Because they love being the power of being a politician. So they're afraid of Trump's supporters losing the support of them. Now, you look at someone like Lindsey Graham, who was always been a very outspoken senator. He started criticizing Trump in his first administration, and then he said people showing up at airports heckling him. And he was like, I better not criticize Trump too much. Same with McConnell. Look at McConnell. Trump insulted his wife, a racial slur. And he said, they asked him, will you support Donald Trump? Yes, I'll support him. Ted Cruz, same thing, another senator, insulted his wife and many other insults and falls in line because they're afraid of losing that support. They criticize Trump. The Trump voters that voted for them won't vote for them. They'll get voted out of office. They all fall in line. It's amazing. And if you examine the media, Fox News especially, they also fall in line. Everything he says and does is put in a positive spin. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. Hannity, all those guys. Why is that? Because it's a cash cow. Criticize Trump, and they'll lose their ratings. Lose their money. All these people are making millions of dollars, multi-millionaires. Hannity et al. They don't want to criticize Trump. They'll lose ratings, and they'll lose their support. They'll lose their support, lose the money. Money, it's all money, see? Can you imagine a president, a politician, everything they say or do is put into a positive light, spun into a positive light. And, the conservatives, the mainstream media is criticizing Trump. Guess what, folks? You are the mainstream media. Your viewership is outrageous. It blows away CNN. You are the mainstream media. People are watching you. And so Trump gets a positive spin on anything he does. Absolutely astounding. Apologist, really. Sycophants. It's similar to North Korean TV. Look at the leader. Everything he does is great. It's very striking, as a side note, to see this military parade, which is what North Korea and Russia and all these countries do. We used to criticize that, but now he's doing it. So is it a cult? That's the question. Is it a cult? And so we have on the show Johnny Beston, a Trump supporter, political organizer from South Carolina. So let's welcome him. We're going to ask him just some basic questions. Why do you support him? Is it a cult? So, Johnny, the first question is it a cult? Well, I want to thank you, Reggie, for having me on the show, first of all. Is it a cult? No, it's not a cult. That's an insult to the 77 million supporters. That's an absolute insult. We just see a leader who's willing to make changes to make this country great again. I mean, it's not a cult. No, I'm not dressing like him. I don't have a tan and a comb over a white wig. I mean, we're not dressing like him or doing cult-like things. We see him as a leader that's going to make the changes that we want to see. See, that's what that is. Yes. There's just so many things to explore. You could do a whole week of programming on the things Trump's said and done. It's just amazing. Let me look at a couple of things and just get your reaction. First of his office is standing with women, his attitude toward women. He says on tape, audio, he just grabs women by the pussy. Okay? He says a woman can't be a 10 without a big pair. Audio this. He's upset when his wife doesn't, in the past, and his wife didn't have his meal ready for him when he got home. He owned beauty pageants. He used to walk in on the contestants while they were dressing, like a creepster, just to get a look when they're nude. He admits that, he said that when you own a beauty pageant, you can get away with this kind of thing. And bangs a porn star, pays hush money, make it go away, and this is okay. Is this the type of moral character of a president that the president should have? Doesn't this disqualify him at all? Everybody has flaws, okay? Everybody has flaws. I mean, he's not perfect. Look at JFK. He was banging every secretary in the office. I mean, come on. But it didn't hurt him in the Cuban Missile Crisis, now did it? He was able to stare down Khrushchev and literally prevent World War III. So, I mean, every leader has flaws. I acknowledge his flaws. Look at Clinton. He was getting Hummers in the White House. But he reached across the aisle to Gingrich and balanced the budget. You got to give him credit for that. FDR, I read, he had affairs. FDR. He was in a wheelchair. I mean, you got to make some compromises, Reggie. Yes, quite. Let's go into another thing. This happened prior to his first election. Made fun of a reporter with special needs. Now, this is something a 4-year-old would do until they learn that's not a right thing to do. That's very hurtful. Now, this is personal for me. My mom was a teacher of people with disabilities. I mean, what about to say about his character? He says he didn't know they had special needs. I mean, that's long. That's in the past. It's long ago. I mean, who cares at this point? Right, okay. Let's look at this. Is row with McCain, Senator McCain from Arizona, someone who was a Navy pilot shot down in Vietnam, tortured at the Hanoi Hilton, brutally tortured. He said he wasn't a hero. Trump said he wasn't a hero. The World War II cemetery, walking through the World War II cemetery, he called the people in there suckers. This is well reported. When it was his time to serve, he had bone spurs, got out for bone spurs. Somebody pulled some strings there, I assure you. What does that say about his character? What was that, 60 years ago? Oh my God, everybody was trying to get out of that war. Vietnam War, everybody was trying to get out of the war. You would have tried to get out of that war. Who cares about Vietnam? That's 60 years ago. And World War II, I think that's fake news. I don't think he said that. Yes, quite. Let's go to more recent. We have the January 6th riot, insurrection, coup, whatever you want to call it. Now, for an outside observer, another country like myself used to see the U.S. as a beacon of democracy, the checks and balances. It's just an amazing democracy. And when the U.S. used to criticize countries like China for their human rights violations, they had some credibility. Now they don't. If the U.S. started criticizing China for another country for human rights abuses, all that leader has to do is say, just show the January 6th video, and they just drop the mic. I mean, it's horrible. One of the most horrible things that's ever happened in U.S. history, in my opinion. Now he sees this people inciting the riot, okay, and he sees the Capitol Police getting abused, brutalized, then sits in the office, goes back to his office for 3 hours, does nothing, says now that Pelosi should have called the National Guard. I mean, this is absurd. He's a commander-in-chief, and this is the hypocrisy of this in the light of calling the National Guard to Los Angeles. This is just astounding. Doesn't this disqualify him? First of all, when they play that speech, they never play the end. They play where he says, you got to fight for the country, don't fight like hell, blah, 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 going to lose the country. They never play the end where he says, we're going to go down peacefully and protest. It got out of hand. I mean, it happens. It got out of hand. What are you going to do? I mean, the riot got out of hand. And he did stop it eventually. And first of all, I do think that election was rigged. Now, there's no evidence. That doesn't mean it wasn't rigged. It was during COVID, all these mail-in ballots. That election could have been rigged very easily, and I think it was. But it was the wrong way to contest the election. I do agree with that. Yes, that's the thing, though. I see Fox News and conservatives on the right say we do not agree with that riot, that coup. It was wrong. And then that's it. They absolve it. That's it. Where's the outrage? Where is the outrage of that? And doesn't that disqualify him from holding office again? I mean, I don't understand. First of all, no, it does not disqualify him. It got out of hand. He just asked about the outrage. Let me ask you, where is the outrage after the George Floyd protest? Much, much worse all over the country. Burning down buildings, violence, riots, businesses destroyed, burned down, black-owned businesses, white-owned businesses. That was much, much worse. Where's the outrage over that? Where is the outrage over that? Can you tell me that? Yes. There should have been more outrage over that, I suppose, but here you are watching attempted coup, shouting, "Hang Mike Pence." What if they would have gotten Mike Pence or Pelosi? I mean, who knows? Let's look at the issue of lying. See, the big lie, of course, that the election was rigged, and you agree with that. There's been studies that in his first administration he had over 30,000 lies. He seems to lie just about every day. It doesn't matter to people. Now, either he does this on purpose or he's just ignorant of the facts. What is your opinion on that? He's just exaggerating to make a point, okay? People exaggerate to make a point. He may not have the exact statistics right in front of him or studied statistics. I mean, look at the issue of illegal immigration. My God, if your daughter, if you have a daughter, was raped and killed by one of these illegal immigrants, then I don't think you care too much about the exaggerations you call lies. Because a lot of that is true. That has happened. All right, well, we're running out of time. I want to allow you to yes, we're running out of time. It's a pleasure to have you here. I want to give you the last word. Many people see this man as a megalomaniac, a want-to-be dictator, the demeanor of a spoiled child. And yet, he is very successful, obviously. And so, give you the last word. Why do you support him? Why do you support him? Well, thank you, Reggie. It was a pleasure to be on the show. I hope we got a different perspective for your viewers. I see someone who loves his country, all right? I see someone who believes, as I do, that the radical left is going way too far and needs to be reined in. This country is going down the drain because of the radical left. I mean, look at the destroying the country. Look at some of the things they proposed at the last election. Defund the police. Defund the police. I mean, come on. What, are you going to have a social worker? Call the social worker when they got an intruder in their house? Call the police. No, I can't call the police. Call the social worker. He can talk to them. They won't murder us. I mean, come on. This is insane. DEI. Yes, get rid of DEI. DEI is harmful to blacks. When they see a prominent black in a prominent position, business or whatever, people immediately think DEI. They shouldn't be thinking that. It's like MLK, content of your character. We don't need that anymore. It's done. It's over. It hurts you. It's bringing you down. DEI. You don't need DEI. And all the pronouns and the sexuality. I mean, queer, transgender. It's like a list of 50 different categories. I can't even keep track. It's ridiculous. Keep it out of the schools. You can be a transgender. You have the right to do that. But don't teach it in the schools. Get it out of the schools. And common sense. I mean, a person that was a male that's now a female competing in women's sports, that's just ridiculous. They got muscles, testosterone. I mean, that's not fair. That's not fair to the girl or a woman that's worked their whole life in some sport. Now they get the Olympics, and now they got some 6'4" behemoth, winning a gold medal. That's not fair. It's common sense. Common sense. And white privilege. What white privilege? We're struggling like everybody else. I mean, that's ridiculous. And, we disagree and they call you a racist or a sexist. I'm tired of being called a racist, all right? That's what. And Pride Week. Why are you proud of that? I shouldn't be proud of your sexuality. It's just what it is, all right? That's ridiculous. I'm not proud to be a heterosexual. It makes no sense. Non-binary, queen, whatever. Fine, you can do that. You have a right to be that way. I respect that. Keep it out of the schools. Don't teach it. Don't bring every country down with it. Immigration. They're illegal immigrants. They're not undocumented immigrants. They're illegally in the country. Sanctuary cities. Why? Why we have a sanctuary for people who are doing illegal actions? And there are drug dealers and violent criminals coming across. I mean, you can't deny that. I mean, rein it in. This country can't afford all that kind, giving them rights, and it's ridiculous. Inflation is out of control. He's got to get down inflation. Inflation was horrible during Biden. Horrible. We're just tired of being called a racist. Tired of that victim mentality, too. Every award show you see, the winner is Asian or something, some kind of minority or transsexual, and they're crying all about. Why are you celebrating? What's a victim mentality? It's all over. Civil rights is done. It's over. It's done. I mean, so we see someone that's going to make these decisions and do the right thing and pull this country, get this country back. This is common sense. It's just common sense. Thank you for having me on, Reggie. I do appreciate it. Yes, thank you for being here. Final closing. You wonder, is there a crack here? Is this the end of democracy in America? I mean, is that too much to say? Certainly the checks and balances with his Supreme Court appointees is tipped in the executive with the leaders that are ruling on immunity. The president has immunity for just virtually all his actions. And his authoritarian leanings. Is this the end of democracy? Is this the end of the great American experiment? The beginning of the end, let's say. I don't know. I don't think so, but it's certainly something to consider. And I think the midterm elections will really go a long way to that. If the Democrats can regain the House and the Senate, then I think it is not the end of democracy. But if the Republicans gain that again, then who knows? The last 2 years of Trump's presidency. I mean, will he try to run again? I mean, this is the end of democracy. It's at least a talking point, and you thought it would never get to be a talking point for a country like America. But whatever you feel about him, you have to acknowledge his success. He's a successful politician. He has a genius in a way to tap in to that anger, that discontent of those 77 million, and to really know what they want. He knows how to manipulate them and get them to vote for him. I mean, he's very successful in that. Look at all the trials before he was elected. He was up for all these criminal charges and trials, and his finances were in trouble, and now it's all gone away. He's successful. He's a successful politician, and you have to acknowledge that. So I hope you learned something from our guest, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week on the Reggie Essington podcast. Thank you.